One of the biggest challenges people face when they are experiencing life and feeling like a spiritual misfit is the tensions this can create with communities where you have previously felt a deep sense of belonging. This might be a church, it might even be your family, it might be your social circle. And it can be really difficult when you begin to feel like there are questions you have or doubts you have that might actually threaten those relationships. What is really important is that whatever stage of life and faith and doubt you're in, it is important to look for good, warm, healthy connections because they're so important for our well-being. And we might have to look for those in some new places. If you are struggling to find that sense of connection where you've previously found it, you might want to look at some online communities. Our Spiritual Misfits group might be a good place to start, but there are some other recommendations in the links below. You might want to look to a pet, a furry friend can be a really safe place of connection. Or you might even find that in the company of a counsellor or a therapist. I want to actually tell you a quick story. A number of years ago, I was seeing a counsellor and I was talking about all the spaces in my life that were feeling a bit overwhelming, all of the demands on my time. And I said, I just feel like nobody ever gets the best of me. My family, my workplace, my community, nobody ever gets the best of me. And my counsellor said, do you ever get the best of you? And I hadn't even thought of that as a category, but he challenged me to think about what it means for me to experience a warm, non-judgmental connection with myself. And sometimes when we're struggling to find that with other people, we might actually need to ask, how do I create a sense of connection and non-judgment and safety, even when it's just me on my own? For many of us who have felt like spiritual misfits, the work of the late, great Rachel Held Evans has been a real balm for the soul. Rachel wrote with a great sense of honesty and compassion and courage about what it feels like to kind of have one foot in and one foot out. Here's a quote from Rachel that I wanted to share with you that I think speaks to what it means to try and forge new connections when we feel like we have lost our previous places of belonging. Rachel said, instead of fighting for a seat at the evangelical table, I want to prepare tables in the wilderness where everyone is welcome and where we can go on discussing and debating the Bible, science, sexuality, gender, racial reconciliation, justice, church, and faith, but without labels, without wars. So I want to encourage you, if you no longer feel like fighting for a seat at a table that you have been excluded from, maybe it's time we made some new tables in the wilderness.